This video is about baby must-haves that you will use for at least 2 years. I am a mom of a toddler who's 23 months old and we're expecting our second baby. And as I'm putting together baby items, I realized there are so many items I'm still using with my toddler 2 years later. So I thought this will make a fun video of must-haves / items worth investing into early. Let's dive in. Okay, so I split it into categories kind of, and the first one is the biggest one, of course, is a pram. You will use pram for the years to come. It's worth getting the one that has first the bassinet attachment and then it will change into accommodating your baby when it's a toddler. We got a Silver Cross pram. We live in a countryside, so we needed a terrain-friendly pram. And then on top of that, we got a travel pram because we've been traveling quite a lot and Silver Cross was way too bulky and we wanted a pram that we could take with us on a plane. So we have 2 prams, unfortunately, which was so unnecessary. Even 2 years later, prams progressed so much. I have attached below the pram that I would recommend to go for, even if you live in a countryside or in London and you travel a lot. That pram is the best. I have several friends with it and I wish I could buy it now as well. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to purchase a third pram. But hopefully it will help you. Extra items to the pram that we purchased and we still use our cup holder. Oh my God, the amount of times when you walk and you need that extra hand, cup holder is just handy. Buy it straight away, attach it. You will forget it didn't come with a pram. Trust me, it's just... it's a must. Another thing is a prime liner. I live in UK, so it does get cold. We bought this fur liner. When she was a baby, it gave her the extra warmth and extra insulation kind of in the bassinet. And afterwards, now that the winter came again, we're using it to keep her extra warm while she's sitting in the pram. So definitely, if you live in a cold country, invest into that pram liner. You'll get good use out of it. The last kind of little thing is a pram toys attachment. In fact, we're swapping the toys, but we still have the attachments to get the toys on the pram, and it does distract our toddler still. It was very useful with our baby because the baby would stare at those toys and play with them, and after as she was growing up, she would still use them. We would change the toys to keep it a bit more entertaining, but the attachment itself stayed with the pram and we're still getting use out of it. Next big item, of course, is the baby cot / bed. We purchased the one that grows with our baby. It's supposed to serve her until she's 5 years old. It doesn't have to be a big investment. Honestly, IKEA does perfect baby beds that grow with your baby. There are only 2 big ticket items I would say to invest into, and one of them was a pram. Baby cot, I wouldn't say it's a big investment, but definitely worth setting up the one that will serve you for years. The other stuff with the baby bed is mattress. We invested into a nice mattress for our baby that is still serving our toddler. Obviously, going with a mattress is the bedding. Yes, it's just worth buying maybe in bulk if you consider it, because again, you're going to use it for years to come. Another mattress related item is mattress protector. Invest into it early. Trust me, babies spit up, accidents happen, and it will get dirty. You want to protect that mattress because some of the nice mattresses are actually quite pricey and you don't want to be in a night wiping it, changing it, and so on. So we had several mattress protectors. If we had an accident in the cot, we'd take out the baby, take out the mattress protector, swap it for another mattress protector and the bedding, and it's good to go. In fact, we actually lined it up because there are some mattress protectors that go over the whole mattress, but we also have the mattress protectors like a sheet, if it makes sense. So it's so much easier to swap out in a night rather than dealing with the whole bedding, you know, and waking up. And it's just, we made our life as easy as possible. Definitely worth buying it early on because the accidents still happen and we're still using mattress protector. Another unusual item is a bed attachment. In fact, I brought one just to show you. It looks like so. Unexpected, huh? Trust me, It's so handy. When I was breastfeeding my daughter, I would have this one attached to her cot. I was breastfeeding hers next to her bed, and this thing, it just goes on top of her cot and stays like so, and it basically serves like an extra shelf. I could put anything in there, like a baby bottle or wipes, anything like that. It came in so handy. Sometimes I would put my phone there, my headphones, you know it, right? And we're still using it to the day. It's attached to our toddler's bed, and we put in there her water bottles. So when she wakes up in the night and she's thirsty, she literally can stand up, reach out and have a sip of water. As well as on the other side, we have another one of these, and we put toys in there. When our toddler wakes up, she can sit and play in the cot herself. And having some toys within her reach, which weren't in the bed with her, because it's still not really safe to have, I wouldn't want my toddler to have toys within her bed when she's sleeping, only a lovey. But having them attached to the side makes it so much easier. So they're within her reach, and in the morning it will give you extra half an hour of sleep while your baby is playing with all these toys. And it's all thanks to this little thing. So literally, it's very cheap and universal. So no brainer for me. Let's stay in the realm of nursery/sleep-related items. And the next one is baby camera. Of course, you must invest into baby camera for your baby's safety. The thing is, sometimes you need to check whether they're sleeping, how's their position, and to hear them, whether they're crying or whether they're awake, and so on. So what I would suggest, obviously, yes, you need to purchase a camera. We got a cheap one. We just wanted it to have a basic function. It's not based on Wi-Fi because our Wi-Fi is not reliable. It's considered to be safer, so nobody can actually tap into it. At least my husband says so. I don't know if it's true or not, but it does the job. It doesn't need the Wi-Fi. And the biggest thing, the longest time we were thinking, oh, maybe we should attach it to the wall, maybe not, I don't know. I wish we've done it earlier. Instead, we bought this kind of attachment to the bed. It was bending and you had to adjust it to see the baby. And then as our baby was growing up, our toddler actually started yanking down that camera, which became a big problem. So we ended up adhering the camera to the wall anyway. So when you get a camera and if you want to attach it to the wall or you can't attach it to the wall, do it from the start. It will save you so much headache and actually some money too with buying those extra attachments. It would have saved me so much pain. Next one, nightlight. Again, if you're putting a baby list together, you probably heard about the nightlight, but we're still using it 2 years later. It's a very cheap item. We bought it on Amazon and you tap on it and it kind of lights up. So easy, we're still using it. So with the baby, I used it when I was breastfeeding her to see around, but not to wake her up because it's a yellow soft light. It became a part of our nighttime routine. We use this light on a brighter scale to read the books to her, to prepare her for the bed, and then we dim the light, and then she knows it's time to go to sleep. And we just leave it on. It doesn't affect her sleep at all still, but gives her the comfort of having the light in the room. Another sleep item, which I actually have on hand, is a sleeping bag. And I would advise to go for this one. This is Mori. There are various kinds right now. Again, I'm gonna link everything down below. And you can see this one is 0 to 2 years old. And we're still using it. Used it a lot with her as a baby. Incredibly convenient. You just fasten it. It is considered to be safer than using a blanket. This stays kind of at the bottom of the bed. And if you need to change your baby in the night, you just unzip it at the bottom, change the baby without undressing them fully, zip it back up, and you're done. It's incredibly convenient. We're still using it with my baby. She loves this thing. Again, it became part of the ritual. When we put her in a sleep sack, she knows it's time to go to bed. I know that soon she's gonna sleep with a blanket, of course, but again, it makes sure the baby is warm and covered, because blanket can be scooched down. Babies and toddlers, they turn a lot in their sleep. So this ensures that they stay warm and under the blanket. We straight away got several togs, meaning warmer ones and thinner ones for summer. And we're just using them rotatingly depending on the weather. Worth it for sure, still using it 2 years later. One unexpected item that I used during my pregnancy while my daughter was a baby and now as a toddler is a bouncy ball. Believe it or not. Obviously, if you're pregnant now, you know you use those for the exercises. Once the baby is born, you can use them for the exercises for the baby, and we use it to rock our child to sleep. Still, sometimes, not always, but sometimes we still have the ball inflated, and if she's teething or not feeling well, it comes in so handy because it's a different type of rocking. You don't, obviously you don't bounce like crazy, you do it softly. It helps you not to always stand and rock your baby. It's kind of an alternative to a rocking chair. If you don't want to invest into one, I would still recommend a rocking chair, 100%. But if you want an alternative way of rocking your baby, just keep the bouncy ball because you're going to have it anyway for your pregnancy stage. You might as well get good use out of it later on. As I mentioned, rocking chair. Yes, it does take a lot of space in a nursery. So invest into a nice looking chair, comfortable. It's worth it. With a baby, I don't even need to say it. It comes in so handy and comfortable, keeps you half asleep when you're in the night, but awake enough, rocks the baby, so much easier to breastfeed. And we're still using it. Again, it's a part of our nighttime routine. We read her books in it, we rock her before putting her to sleep, talk to her and so on while we're holding her, sitting in the chair, and then put her to sleep. So rocking chair is a must, and yes, we're still using it with our 23-month-old. Oh, this one. When I asked my husband, what are the items we're still using with our baby and which items that he would recommend for you guys to purchase, and it's the first thing that came to his mind. Oh no, I don't have it. I'll grab one. Okay, it took me time, but here we go. Lovey that we're still using to the day. Please invest into one. Well, they're not that pricey, but I would suggest to buy them in bulk. This one is a bunny. We have a lion, we have a bear, we have several. Thus, our baby didn't get attached to a particular one rather than to a variety of those. So it makes it so much easier to put them around the house. We have one in a car, always in the bedroom, in the bag to go. So we have several of those, which makes it so much more convenient. And I assume you know how to use it. It's a great comforter for the baby. When we put her to sleep, it's one of the rituals. We give her the bunny so she comforts herself to sleep, as well as when you're traveling, for example, and you need your baby to calm down, literally just give her the bunny or the lovey, and it works like magic. It's definitely worth getting several of these so you don't struggle. If you lose one, you're always going to have another one handy, and your baby will not get attached to one specific toy. It's going to be several of those. In the long term, it's so worth it. She loved it as a baby, she's still loving it as a 2-year-old. It's more of like an honorable mention. Baby blankets. We've been gifted so many baby blankets, and I'm actually very happy to say we still use them sometimes if our baby needs the extra warmth, or she fell asleep on your hands, that kind of stuff. So baby blankets, you still kind of use them. Our phone is just not cooperating with me today, but we'll get through this. One of the small items from nursery is a thermometer, which shows you the temperature of the room, and it definitely helped us a lot, and we're still using it to the day. At the beginning, babies are not really good at self-regulating their body temperature, so it's incredibly important to know what temperature it is in the room. Going forward, it simply became a guideline. As the seasons change, obviously the temperature changes, and we can understand what kind of sleep bag we need to use for our daughter and so on. Just keep in mind that you're probably going to use it for years, so maybe buy the one that adheres to a wall, or at least aesthetically pleasing and you're happy for it to stick around for a long time. The next one might seem very obvious to you, but for me, for some reason it wasn't. It's basically bins. Laundry bin, of course, and yes, the laundry never stops. The other one is a generic bin. We're still using it for the diapers, the wipes, and so on. And eventually it will transition into the bathroom, but for now it's still in her main bedroom. It's a bit annoying because it's quite big, and I wish I bought more aesthetically pleasing one from the start. Personally, I wouldn't advise to buy something like a diaper genie type of thing. Just a normal bin will do, because with those type of bins, you need to maintain it. You need to buy those cartridges, like inserts, to make sure that it keeps on working, and eventually it will go away. When a normal bin can simply transition from your kid's bedroom into the bathroom and you're done. Plus, for a number 2 diapers, we are using extra little bags, like you use for dogs. They're 100% recyclable, so they're eco-friendly, and you simply put the diaper in, you tie it into this extra little bag. Our daughter was 1 year old. We actually taught her to dispose those diapers herself, so she just takes that bag and goes into the bin and ditches them, and she still does it to the day. So it's an extra learning curve that we actually implemented through a bin. But nevertheless, just wanted to mention, make sure you're happy with those bins, make sure you're happy with the laundry baskets, because they're going to stay for a long time. Okay, so one of the biggest items I really wanted to mention, and came as a massive surprise to all of us, that we're still using it with a 2-year-old, and I used it a lot when my daughter was a newborn, is a carrier. And it's this carrier. I know you probably have seen them all over the internet. This is the Artipop carrier, and I know it's pricey, I know, but it's worth it. I am so surprised we're still using it with 2-year-old. And I'll explain you how. At the beginning, when my daughter was a newborn, I would simply put it in front, so she could literally lie on my chest. It was incredibly convenient. I even learned how to breastfeed her on the go. You literally just cover it on the top and she just does the job. It was fascinating and incredibly convenient. And then also my husband and my mom were helping me sometimes, and it's very easy to adjust. I have friends who actually bought 2 carriers. I think they have a different brand. I just don't want to mention the names, but my friends, they have a different brand, and it became so annoying for them to actually keep on adjusting their carrier that they bought 2, one for husband and one for wife. And this one is very simple, incredibly easy to adjust. It's not sponsored, guys. I just absolutely love this carrier. It's very aesthetically pleasing. And I believe after 1-year-old Mark, we actually started using it on a back. So this carrier, you can adjust it a little bit, and then it's almost like putting a backpack with your kid on it. It's amazing. First of all, it's not that difficult. Our daughter is over 10 kilograms. You don't feel that she's that heavy. It's literally like carrying a heavy backpack. And she loves being on a back. If she's teething, if she's sick, fussy, we literally just put her on our back and you walk around and she relaxes. She sits in it and she loves it. It soothes her for some reason. If we cannot put her to sleep, sometimes we actually just put her in a carrier, especially during the day nap, and she will fall asleep so quickly. I cannot recommend this carrier enough. Genuinely, this time around, we're not even buying a new pram, because in my mind, and let's see how it plays out, but in my mind, I'm going to use this carrier a lot with a newborn, while my toddler is still going to use her own pram. Let's see how it works. And I have to say, so many moms actually commented to me saying, oh, we actually have X amount of kids, and Artipop was the carrier. Like, I wish we bought it from the start, because again, it's more perceived to be fashionable item rather than functional. But guys, it's just the best. Apparently memory on my phone died, so I have to redo this portion of the video. Nevertheless, changing stations. When you have a baby, obviously you have several stations set up with their diapers and the wipes, all that kind of stuff. It has evolved with time. Obviously, it came in handy when our toddler was a baby. And afterwards, now we're still using kind of the changing station baskets. It's worth it investing in those baskets, because maybe at the beginning you will be like, oh, it's fine, I'll carry it around the house. I would invest into several of those and just keep them around the house permanently. It makes life so much easier. Next one is so-called medical box, and what we're still using is a baby thermometer. Invested into electronic one. It's so much easier to use. You just put it next to the baby's head, press the button, you got the temperature, rather than buying the cheaper version, which you need to insert into the baby. And I just save yourself some money and time, invest into the electronic one. It's just worth it. Next one is a snort sucker, having this long kind of touch everything below, but yes, snort sucker. We used it with a baby quite a lot because obviously they kind of blow their nose, and we're still using it with a toddler when she has a runny nose. She can blow her nose kind of, but it still comes in handy to make sure her nose is completely clear, especially before she goes to bed if she's sick. It's a must-have in our medical box and definitely one of the items worth investing from the start. The next one is baby scissors. I know we also purchased that electronic filer for the nails, and we tried to use it at the beginning, but it just wasn't as useful. We didn't find it helpful at all, and we ended up using scissors anyway. It's much easier to buy scissors from the start and just keep on using it for years. I know it's terrifying. The baby's hands are teeny tiny and their nails are even tinier, but you get used to it. Just make sure your baby is asleep so they wiggle less, and it makes it a little bit easier. And then you will get used to it more and more, and then it will come as a second nature to cut your baby's nails. It just comes with a practice, unfortunately. Next one is another big ticket item, which is a car seat. Granted, we did buy Cloud Z Cybex, I believe that's how it's called. It just makes it easier because it rotates and expands fully. If the baby falls asleep, you just can keep the baby in the car seat and just expand it and let the baby sleep in it. But now that we upgraded to the next car seat, ironically, it accommodates babies from 0 to 12 years old. So guys, if you don't want to waste your money buying a baby car seat and then another grown-up car seat, nowadays there are much better options of the car seats that you can use with your newborn and when they're a toddler and later on as well. It's worth exploring for sure. It will save you a lot of money. Cybex was quite pricey. For example, now we have a Silver Cross car seat, and it also turns around 360. Very convenient. It doesn't expand, which is fine. Just take it into consideration. It might save you a lot of money. Next is a baby bag. And again, I put in quotations baby bag because we haven't purchased specifically diaper bag or baby bag, as you call it. I'm using one of my bags and just putting my baby items in it. And I did it from the start. What I would advise investing into is pouches, which we have several of those. Literally, pouch size like this, again, everything attached below. And I would put diapers, wet wipes, baby cloths. Yes, we're still using baby cloths, especially on the go. I would have maybe some snacks that don't expire for a really long time, and maybe a few toys and a lovey. Zip it up and you're ready to go. Your minimal bag of what you need with your baby and your toddler is ready. So easy, and we're still using it to the day. For example, if you're going for a walk, I would put that pouch in the bottom of the pram, or if we're in a rush, I have several of those ready. I just grab one and put it in my bag. Makes life so much easier. Definitely just get a few of those pouches and you will get into a habit of stocking them up, and they actually look so cute. Next, bath time. And there are not that many items actually we're still using with our toddler. Still worth mention. First one is the infamous ducky. Guys, we're still using it to the day. It was so convenient when we had a baby and didn't know what temperature the water is. It's not like you can put your hand down and straight away stray. Yes, it takes time to actually learn which temperature the bath's supposed to be. And ducky was a no-brainer. We're still using it. My toddler just calls it ducky. She knows it's a ducky. And my husband actually quite paranoid. So it does calm him down just to look at the ducky to make sure, it's a correct temperature. Just no brainer, easy. 2 years later, it's still with us. One of the best buys. It's in every baby list for a reason. And the next one might come unexpected, but it's a water jug. So when our child was a baby, we would use it to pour the water over her while she was laying down. And then as she was growing up a little bit more, we would do like the rain kind of water over her. She loved it, was absolutely obsessed with it at a certain stage. And now we're still using it in the bath to wash her. In fact, our bath doesn't have a shower handle. Very inconvenient when you have a baby, but we just use this to wash her. And she uses it herself playing in a bath. So yes, maybe it's a little ticket item, but definitely worth getting it from the start. It was incredibly handy when she was a baby, and it's still handy to the day. Okay, we're coming closer to the end of this very long list. I didn't expect it to be this long. Next ones are feeding related kitchen items. And the first one is, of course, a bottle warmer. Oh my God. This was one of the best buys we could get for our baby slash toddler. First of all, it's incredibly convenient. You just press a button and it warms the bottle quite quickly. Second of all, it doubles as a sanitizer. It came in incredibly handy. You warm the bottles for the baby and then you can use them to sanitize those bottles after you wash them. And when you travel, it comes in incredibly handy. And after 6-month mark, we start warming her food in it and still using it for milk. And afterwards, we're still using it. We're not using it as much, but still, we still use it. If you're busy with your toddler, you just pop in the milk in there and run around and let the bottle warmer do its job. It was from Amazon. It wasn't even that expensive and it's still working. One of the best buys for sure. Although the milk bottles go, you still have water bottles and the other bottles that you're using with your toddler. So make sure when you're setting up your bottle station, understand that it's gonna stay there for good, or at least for 2 years. Thus, ensure you make some sort of permanent corner for those bottles, because yes, you need a place to store them and wash them and put them to dry and all that stuff. Just make sure you have a nice bottle station. And related to that is that you need to wash those bottles. So you still need the liquid and you still need the brushes. Yes, different brushes. You need the place to put the brushes in. Keep in mind that they're there to stay. Just ensure it's a long-term solution rather than a quick fix. If something bugging you about that station, make sure it's comfortable and because you're gonna use it for years. I'll link the station we use below, so it kind of doubles as our soaps and our sponge, and we just put the brushes in it. It looks organically within our kitchen at least. Happy with the look of it. The last one, an honorable mention, is travel cot. And it might come as a surprise to you, but if you're traveling a lot and thinking of buying travel cot, buy it from the start. And I'll tell you why. First of all, now there is some amazing travel cots that will serve you from 0 to 5 years old, which is a really long time. Then they're the ones that actually can set the level much higher, which makes it so convenient to put the baby into and use it as a changing station. Instead of buying a separate changing station, kind of a table, you can put it in another room, not the nursery, but for example, in a living room, and have this travel cot temporarily while the baby is newborn. You can put the baby in there, makes it much easier to change. And then also it's an extra space where you can safely put your baby to sleep in. I feel like I really underused this opportunity because we bought the baby cot much later on before our travels. And I realized how useful it is when we actually were away, and I got to use it as a changing table and as a baby cot and a place to put my toddler into. Especially when they start sitting and crawling, sometimes when you're traveling, it's just so convenient to put your baby. It's almost like a secluded, safe space where you can put your baby and know they're safe while you need to do something. I wish I knew this stuff in advance with my first baby, and I'm so happy I get to share it with you. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.